How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massa Beer Reviews, back with a little bit of, session beer. We love a little bit of session hazies in the form of Hop Butcher for the World. It's their Brain Forest. Yeah, this is a Enigma hopped triple IPA coming in at 10.5% alcohol by volume. They call out red berries, orange zest, and pleasant pine on the back. Hot pink, jungle, brain matter. Let's see how the sucker goes. So, Brain Forest. What do I think of when I think, clear beer? Clear triple IPA? Okay, daddy like you now. So you're throwing me for a loop, you motherfuckers. I like it. I like it, and I like it a lot. It's clear beer. I know that's technically not clear beer by old school standards, but that's clear beer. Label-wise, it's Jets stuff, but it's probably a little bit more illustrative than I typically get from him, so. I don't hate it, but I don't love it, Dan. Call your Jets. Yeah. When is this? I think this is actually relatively old, isn't it? 2 months. That's not bad. It's got a cool little hop in the bottom. Look at that. There you go. So you can see the date. I should show you guys dates instead of calling them out. I mean, it's hazy. It's a hazy triple IPA, but it could be oxidative. So I could be telling Porky Pies. When I actually poured it, it looked clear. But that's hazy. I was going to be like, that's old school hazy. No, that's new school hazy. It's just not super turbid, turkey gravy level hazy. It's a triple, though, so you kind of expect that shit. Just off white head, done and done. It's got that orange amber core. But you can actually see, a little nipple in that glass, so. It's gave me an excuse to say nipple. What do you want? It's good news. It's got to be oxidized, right? It's got to be. It's gotta be. I mean, there's orange, or like orange marmalade. I can't believe I say that shit, man. I used to make fun of everybody who said that. But it's there. There's spiciness to it. That's why I think might be some oxidation issues on this one. Because there's this spiciness to it that comes off, reminds me of like old school hoppy, like bittering, English, old shelf turdy stuff. And that's kind of like these big new school hops go in that direction, really aggressive. So they're talking about red berries. Let's go over what they're talking about here. Pleasant pine, red berries, orange zest. So the orange zest we covered. That's your orange marmalade there. I can fake myself or talk myself into thinking about red berries. And then they talked about that pleasant pine. But the pleasant pine isn't really a pininess. I don't know why I'm whispering. I'm trying to review like a 10.5% triple IPA and I decide to start whispering. I don't know. It just has this muddledness to it. And the spiciness to it, almost like a savoriness to it. Like a little bit of like some kind of savory note to it. I don't know what it is. I'm diving in. Cheers. That's not good. It's all kinds of sideways. Yeah, that's not what this beer is supposed to be. Or at least what they intended it to be. No, almost exclusively, 99.9% of all the Hop Butcher I've ever reviewed has come from them. This select few at the beginning did not. So with that comes dates and coldness in mind. So, I've typically not received a 2-month-old IPA from a brewery before. I mean, it's happened. I got them from the big breweries, Stone, shit like that, to where they're just like, whatever, we don't care. But for artisanal boutique breweries like Hop Butcher, small guys, it's usually hyper fresh stuff. A month maybe. I'm not going to claim it a month, but 2 months, it's got a little bit of time on it. Especially for such a big beer like this. So I don't know if it's necessarily the beer is bad or time has done it dirty, because almost everything I've done from these guys has been, a month old at the most. So I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, trying to read what's on the bottom there. But, yeah. This is by far and away the worst hop butcher beer I've ever had. Like, easily the worst one I've ever had. And I would almost try to talk myself into liking this beer. Because it's like, I could sit here and be like, okay, you know, the hops they're using, Enigma hopped, triple IPA. It's says something about here, B o'clock something. I don't know what the hell. Be a Chinook hero? No. Anyway, yeah, it comes off like old herbal spicy kind of hop. Almost like, think about like, it's not this beer, but think about like Devil Dancer, like a triple IPA from like Founders, who we don't speak of really much anymore. It kind of has that Devil Dancer kind of vibes to it, but I don't think it's purposeful here. I think it's actually, it's either the way the beer kind of came off, you know, maybe a bad can, it may be the bottom of the run, you know what I mean? Those kind of things, to where it's like, and it could be more than one of those. It could be just a bad seal on the end of the run, and just a little wonkiness in the beer, and it just kind of goes sideways like this, because I just don't, I bet you if I went and looked on Untappd or Instagram and looked up people drinking this beer, you know, a couple weeks in, I don't think it'll look like this. So what we have here is, I want to say a failure to communicate, but so the mouthfeel's dropped off. That is part of oxidation. That's going to kind of kill the mouthfeel on it. It's still not horrible, but it's definitely not what you come to expect, especially from a brewery as good as Hop Butcher. That orange is still there, but it's very, very minimal. You're talking about a 10.5% IPA, kind of copiously hopped. You expect a big orange characteristic, not really getting it here. You know, the sweetness has died down too. Again, 10.5%. Big, huge beer. Hop Butcher beer, you're going to expect a level of sweetness here. You're not really getting it. Again, oxidation at play. And then just the hops in general, the amount of aggressive hop in here is readily apparent, but it comes off very much like, it's not strictly like sucking on a wet tea bag, but it's in that kind of vein. So when you talk about these red berries and these kind of, you know, pine sure that kind of leans in this a little bit, but I just think it's something that was just a little bit kind of, yeah. It's a little too sideways, maybe in a couple different ways, to make the beer kind of go completely sideways. At least for me. But that's the thing. I like weird, old schooly kind of beers, and I can find some positivity in this. But with it being 10.5%, it's just not something I could really hang with, you know. You give me a slightly oxidized new school kind of beer with a little bit of herbally tea-like tannic notes at a 5%, you know, 6%, I could be like, I can almost talk myself into a beer. It's kind of like an old school weird English style beer. But here, no. Yeah, it's kind of poopy. I don't think it's Hop Butcher's fault in the grand scheme of things. I know they've had can issues in the past. And you're talking about a 13% Enigma, or 10.5% Enigma-based IPA. Things can go wrong. But yeah, it is what it is. Such is life. They can't all be winners. This one's just not a winner for me. Let's talk about it. It's one of the better triple IPAs I've had as of late. No value to availability, no idea. Chicagoland, let me know what's what, and leave you with if you like what we like this. If you like to taste how beer can change and transform and turn into things that you would otherwise not expect. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, if this is a one-off can, a unique twist or unique turn on a beer that is a 10% fun beer, and they have a pretty good track record on their triple IPA, so it's not like they don't know how to do these. It is what it is. So if you like knowing that breweries are not infallible, then you'll like this beer. So there you go. Another beer and Hop Butcher beer in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers. If you want to check me out doing the social media stuff, Beer Massive. Want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a little, brain forced right now. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers.